Let me say this clearly before we start. If you're using ChatGPT randomly, asking one-off questions, jumping between ideas, starting from scratch every day, you are using it at maybe 10% of its potential. ChatGPT isn't powerful because it answers questions. It's powerful because it can hold context, manage processes, and support decisions if you give it a workflow. Most people don't have a ChatGPT problem. They have a workflow problem. Today, I'm going to walk you through my entire ChatGPT workflow, step by step, and I want you to steal it. Not theory, not try this sometime. This is the exact sequence I use to think, plan, create, refine, and execute as a one-person team. These are the prompts I run every single day. And by the end of this episode, you'll understand why ChatGPT stopped feeling like a chatbot for me and started feeling like support. Let's begin. The big shift from questions to workflows. Here's the mistake most people make. They open ChatGPT and ask whatever is on their mind in that moment. What should I post? Help me write this. What do you think about this idea? That's not a workflow, that's improvisation. A workflow is different. A workflow is a repeatable sequence of prompts that guides your thinking in the same way every time, so you don't rely on motivation, creativity, or mental energy. This is how teams operate internally, and this is exactly what ChatGPT is good at, if you let it. Step 1, the role lock, how I start every session. Before I do anything else, I tell ChatGPT who it is. Not once, every session. Why? Because without a role, AI defaults to being generic. Here's the prompt I use to start my workflow. You are now my executive AI assistant. Your role is to help me think clearly, prioritize correctly, improve my work, and reduce unnecessary effort. You do not explain basics unless I ask. You think in systems, steps, and outcomes. This is not a nice-to-have prompt. This is the foundation. It changes how every response after this one is framed. I'm not talking to a chatbot anymore. I'm talking to support. Step 2, the daily clarity check. The next thing I do is unload my mental clutter, not by listing tasks, but by letting AI pull clarity out of me. Here's the prompt. Ask me the most important questions you need in order to understand what I should focus on today. Once I answer, summarize my priorities and recommend a clear plan of action. This prompt does something most people miss. It reverses the relationship. Instead of me trying to organize everything in my head, AI interviews me like a competent assistant would. This alone reduces mental fatigue. You don't realize how draining it is to hold everything in your mind until you stop. Step 3, priority filtering, what actually matters. Once I've dumped context, I filter ruthlessly, because most overwhelm comes from treating everything as equal. Here's the prompt. Based on everything I've shared, identify what truly moves the needle today. Separate high-impact tasks from low-impact tasks. Tell me what to focus on, what to delay, and what to ignore. This is where ChatGPT becomes valuable. Not because it knows more than you, but because it isn't emotionally attached to your to-do list. It doesn't care what feels productive. It cares what matters. Step 4, content creation workflow. When I'm creating content, I don't brainstorm from scratch. Ever. I run a system. Content strategy prompt. You are my content director. Based on my audience and goals, generate content ideas that are educational, practical, and aligned with my brand voice. Focus on clarity, leverage, and real-world use. This sets direction. Not ideas for ideas' sake, ideas that fit the mission. Script execution prompt. Once I choose an idea, I don't ask for an outline. I ask for completion. Here's the prompt. Turn this idea into a complete, record-ready script. Include a strong hook, clear structure, practical examples, and a decisive close. Write it as if it's meant to be used immediately. This is where most people lose time. They settle for outlines, then still have to think. I skip that step. Quality upgrade prompt. Before anything goes live, I run this. Review the script as a senior editor. Identify weak sections, unclear transitions, or flat moments. Rewrite it to be sharper, clearer, and more engaging. This is instant iteration. No ego, no attachment, just improvement. Step 5. Decision support workflow. Anytime I'm stuck between options, I don't spin in my head. I externalize the decision. Here's the prompt. I'm deciding between these options. Analyze the trade-offs, risks, and long-term impact of each. Recommend the best option based on leverage and alignment with my goals. This removes emotional bias. You still decide, but you decide cleanly. And clean decisions free energy immediately. Step 6. System building. Turning work into infrastructure. Anything I do more than once, I systematize. Here's the prompt. Turn this process into a repeatable system. Break it down into steps, inputs, outputs, and improvement points. This is how AI stops helping with tasks and starts helping with scale. Systems don't just save time, they remove friction. Step 7. Automation thinking. After systems come automation. Here's the prompt I use. Analyze my current workflow and identify where templates, automation, or delegation would save the most time long term. Recommend improvements. This is how effort decreases over time instead of increasing. Most people grow by doing more. Smart systems grow by doing less manually. Step 8. The fix anything prompt. No matter how good you are, you'll miss things. This prompt catches them. Analyze this work and identify weaknesses, unclear ideas, or missed opportunities. Rewrite the necessary parts to improve clarity, flow, and impact. This is your editor, your coach, your second brain. Step 9. End of day wrap. At the end of the day, I don't just shut down, I review. Here's the prompt. Summarize what I accomplished today. Identify what worked, what didn't, and what should be prioritized tomorrow. This closes loops, and closed loops reduce stress. Why this workflow works. This isn't about clever prompts. It's about reducing cognitive load. Your brain is not designed to remember everything, prioritize constantly, create endlessly, decide perfectly, execute flawlessly. AI handles structure. You handle judgment. That's the partnership. What changes when you use a workflow? When you stop prompting randomly and start running a workflow, your days feel lighter. Decisions happen faster. Content becomes easier. Output becomes consistent. Stress drops. Not because you're doing more, but because you're doing less in your head. If you want to build something big, a business, a brand, a legacy, you cannot do it alone. But with AI, you don't have to. Steal this workflow. Reuse these prompts. Make them part of how you think and work. And stop trying to hold everything in your mind when AI can help carry the load. If this episode helped you, join, like, and subscribe. It helps this channel reach more solopreneurs who need this information. And if you want deeper strategies on scaling, influence, and direct response marketing, you have to reach millions. Available now on Amazon. This is Trapper's Avatar with Grown Man Productions. You have to reach millions.
It's the rapper, baby!